So today's the day the 5.3 makes it in the square body. So we got this cute motor mount kit for square bodies from TD Performance. You can find the link down in the description. So these mounts bolt right up in the normal location, and you have slots so you can adjust depending on the height that you need. So looking at a bunch of the wiring that we got in here, most of it's just going to go. We're going to keep the heater box, and then we just have the washer. We just have the washer controls and then the lights. So pretty much everything else is getting out of here. So these wires right here are for the distributor and for the carburetor and for a couple other things like that. And these trucks actually had a computer. And that computer is mounted right here above the glove box and the heater core. We've got a little prep work to do in the engine bay before we can put the motor in. So let's get to it. Alright, so we have all the front accessories back on. I did have to take and bend up the lower power steering hose just to get it to clear the frame, just a little bit, but all's good there. I have my mock-up intake set up on here just so I can run the harness and see how everything's going to work and make sure it's going to work how I want it to. And so far, everything's looking really good. And yes, before you go nuts in the comments, everything will be wrapped and wire loomed and heat treated where it needs to be. So I modified the harness to have everything come off the back of the manifold. So both plugs barely fit through there and all the wires just fit, and everything is real nice and tucked away behind the motor. I definitely planned that entirely. So inside the cab here, I have both my leads sitting right here. I am going to clean up a bunch of this crap that's on top of the heater core because I'm planning on just having defrosters and foot. But right here is where the stock computer was. And that is roughly what I plan on doing. So I'm going to have to fab up a bracket that holds the computer and then bolts up to these stock locations right here. And then that's where our computer is going to be. So I'm planning on trying to put the fuse block for the motor right here underneath the hood hinge. I'm going to have to double check clearances to make sure I'm not going to run into a problem. I think everything will be okay. And then the power wires can neatly be run right along the top of the heater core. And then the power and ground wire I'm going to run right underneath the trim here to the battery, which is going to be in the stock location. These green and blue wires right here are our electric fan relay controls. So these are also going to run along with the power wires and run along underneath the trim. And all of the electric fan relay stuff is going to be mounted right here underneath the glove box, or right here underneath the battery box. And our fans will obviously be right here. For an intake, I'm going to try to come off and run in front of the alternator over to here. So on both sides there are these cutout plates. So the stock intake for the small block comes out right there, and it has this cute little plate right here. So this is like your rain guard. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to knock this plate out, put this in here, and then build a little air box around the air filter right here, so I'll have a nice cold air intake and run right into the motor. Everything for the harness is looking good, so I'm going to get all that stuff back out, and then we're going to test fit some headers. So I have 3 sets of headers here. These are block huggers, these are S10 swaps, And these are something I got at a swap meet for super cheap. So I'm hoping the log tubes would fit. Otherwise, we're probably going to have to go with the S10s. I'm pretty sure the block huggers aren't going to work. But let's find out. So the passenger side's pretty open. So we're going to test these on the driver's side. So these are the block huggers. Block huggers look like they're going to clear on this side. These are the S10 headers. Those are really tight to the block, but looks like they will work. Let's try the long tubes. No, these are hitting the frame. Just for grins, let's try the long tubes over here too. Long tubes aren't going to work unless I modify them. I use these for my run stand, so I don't think I want to do that. These are the S10 swap headers again. So, oh, but those are really close to the frame there. Alright, let's try the block huggers here too, just to see. Those are hitting the cross member. So the 3 headers I have, the S10 swap headers are the only ones that fit. I'd really like to run long tubes, so I might just end up ordering a set. So I popped the intake on quick just to see how this would work. We are super close to the alternator. Maybe if I swap that boot around? I swapped the boot around so it sticks out further. And if I get it sitting right, it does clear the belt. So this might work. I'd have to see how I'm going to clear the radiator and the fans. But we're definitely onto something. Right now the intake is just sitting there. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that I need to do with the intake off, so I think we're going to take and bolt it on. So there is a torque spec for these. You're supposed to go around in sequence and do 44-inch pounds. Learned that the hard way the first time. And then you go back around and go to 89-inch pounds. Well, the motor's in and everything's looking good. We got a lot done in this video, but that's probably about all it's going to be. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead, like and subscribe, and let's LS swap the world.